Ancient Egypt is a land of mystery, wonder, and incredible achievements, but there's more to this ancient civilization than just pyramids and pharaohs. Today, we're diving deep into the Nile to uncover the top 10 unknown facts about ancient Egyptians that will blow your mind. And trust me, you do not want to miss number 1 in this list. Let's get started. Starting at number 10. Did you know that the ancient Egyptians were the first in history to create a peace treaty? After decades of intense conflict, including the famous Battle of Kadesh, where neither side emerged victorious, Pharaoh Ramses II and the Hittite king Hattusili III realized that the ongoing warfare was taking a toll on both empires. In a groundbreaking move, they agreed to make peace, culminating in the signing of the first recorded peace treaty around 1259 BCE. This treaty didn't just end hostilities, it also established an alliance that would ensure mutual protection against other threats. Remarkably, the terms of this treaty were etched into stone, with copies kept in both the Egyptian and Hittite capitals. Today, the significance of this treaty is so profound that a replica of it is displayed at the United Nations, symbolizing one of humanity's earliest efforts at diplomacy. Coming in at number 9. Unlike many other ancient civilizations, Egyptian women enjoyed rights that were remarkably advanced for their time. They could own property, run businesses, and even initiate divorce, a stark contrast to the status of women in many other ancient societies. Egyptian women were not confined to domestic roles. They participated in various aspects of society, from religious ceremonies to economic activities. Some even ascended to the highest ranks of power. Take Cleopatra, the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt, who was a shrewd politician, a diplomat, and a strategist. Or consider Hatshepsut, who wasn't just a ruler, but one of Egypt's most successful pharaohs. She expanded trade routes, commissioned massive building projects, and ruled as pharaoh in her own right for over 2 decades. This level of respect and autonomy for women was unparalleled in the ancient world, making Egyptian society one of the most progressive of its time. At number 8, bad breath might seem like a modern problem, but it's been around for millennia. The ancient Egyptians, always ahead of their time, were the world's first to address this issue with what we might now call breath mints. These weren't your typical store-bought mints, though. Egyptians crafted these refreshing treats from a blend of fragrant herbs and spices, including frankincense, myrrh, cinnamon, and honey, rolled into small pellets. These ingredients weren't just aromatic, they also had antibacterial properties which helped keep their mouths clean and their breath fresh. Considering that many Egyptians consumed a diet rich in onions and garlic, these breath mints were a necessary innovation to maintain social etiquette and personal hygiene. It's fascinating to think that something as simple as the desire for fresh breath connects us to a civilization that existed thousands of years ago. At number 7, when you think of ancient Egypt, you might picture the grandeur of the pyramids or the majesty of the temples. But did you know that the workers who built these wonders were the ones who staged the first recorded labor strike in history? It happened during the reign of Pharaoh Ramses III around 1155 BCE. The workers, primarily artisans and builders in the village of Deir el-Medina, were responsible for constructing the royal tombs in the Valley of the Kings. Despite their crucial role, they had not been paid their regular wages, mostly food rations, for several weeks. Frustrated and hungry, the workers organized a sit-down protest, refusing to continue their labor until they were compensated. They marched to the temple and voiced their grievances loudly and clearly, a bold move in an era where defying a pharaoh was almost unthinkable. The strike was successful and the workers received their overdue rations. This event is significant not just as a labor action, but as a powerful example of collective bargaining and workers' rights. Principles that resonate strongly in today's world. And next up at number 6. Ancient Egyptians weren't just fond of cats, they revered them. Cats were considered sacred animals associated with the goddess Bastet, who represented home, fertility, and domesticity. The affection Egyptians had for their feline companions went beyond mere pets. Cats were believed to possess magical powers that could protect the home from evil spirits and disease. As a result, harming a cat, even accidentally, was a serious crime that could be punishable by death. Egyptians would often adorn their cats with jewelry and treat them like members of the family. Upon a cat's death, it wasn't uncommon for the family to mourn by shaving their eyebrows and holding elaborate funerals, complete with mummification to ensure the cat's safe passage to the afterlife. Cats were so highly valued that when they appeared on Egyptian art and in tombs, it wasn't just for decoration, it was a testament to their integral role in daily life and spirituality. The deep bond Egyptians had with cats is one of the most endearing aspects of their culture, and it's no wonder that this reverence has influenced our own love for these animals today. Halfway through our list, at number 5. Contrary to popular belief, the monumental pyramids of Egypt were not built by slaves. This long-held misconception has been debunked by modern archaeology. The workers who constructed the pyramids were skilled laborers and artisans who were well respected and compensated for their work. These laborers were organized into teams, lived in nearby workers' villages, and were provided with food, medical care, and even beer as part of their daily rations. Inscriptions found in these workers' villages suggest that they were proud of their work, referring to themselves as the Friends of Khufu, the pharaoh who commissioned the Great Pyramid, or Drunkards of Menkaure, in reference to another pyramid-building pharaoh. The meticulous planning and effort that went into the construction of the pyramids would have been impossible without a dedicated and skilled workforce, motivated not by force but by a deep sense of duty and pride in their craftsmanship. This fact reshapes our understanding of how these ancient wonders came to be, highlighting the ingenuity and organization of Egyptian society. At number 4, the ancient Egyptians were far more advanced in medical knowledge than most people realize. They practiced a sophisticated form of medicine that combined practical treatment with spiritual healing. The Ebers Papyrus, one of the oldest medical texts in existence, reveals that Egyptian doctors were familiar with a wide range of ailments and treatments, from simple cuts and fractures to more complex surgeries. They knew how to set broken bones, perform amputations, and even conduct rudimentary brain surgery. Egyptian physicians used a variety of tools, some of which were strikingly similar to those used in modern medicine. They also had an extensive pharmacopoeia using natural remedies made from herbs, minerals, and animal products to treat their patients. Honey, for instance, was used for its antibacterial properties, while moldy bread was applied to wounds, an early form of antibiotics. Medicine was often intertwined with magic, as the Egyptians believed that many illnesses were caused by the wrath of the gods or evil spirits. As a result, medical treatment often included prayers, spells, and amulets to drive away these malevolent forces. This blend of science and spirituality laid the groundwork for many medical practices that would later influence Greek and Roman medicine and continues to fascinate historians and medical professionals alike. At number 3, the Great Sphinx of Giza, one of the most iconic symbols of ancient Egypt, is shrouded in mystery. And one of the biggest mysteries is its age. While the Sphinx is traditionally attributed to Pharaoh Khafre and is believed to have been constructed around 2500 BCE, some evidence suggests that it may actually be much older. Geological studies of the Sphinx's body show significant water erosion, which could only have occurred during a time when the Giza Plateau experienced heavy rainfall, thousands of years before the reign of Khafre. This has led some researchers to propose that the Sphinx might date back to a much earlier period, possibly as far back as 7000 BCE or earlier. If true, this would mean the Sphinx predates the pyramids by several millennia, suggesting the presence of an advanced civilization before the rise of the known Egyptian dynasties. However, this theory remains controversial, with many Egyptologists maintaining the traditional timeline. Regardless of its true age, the Sphinx remains a powerful enigma, its silent gaze watching over the desert as it has for thousands of years. At number 2, the concept of a 365-day calendar that we use today actually originated in ancient Egypt. The Egyptians were keen observers of the natural world, particularly the cycles of the Nile River and the movements of the stars. They noticed that the annual flooding of the Nile, which was crucial for agriculture, occurred at roughly the same time each year. To predict these floods and plan their farming activities, they developed a calendar based on the solar year. Their calendar was divided into 12 months of 30 days each, with an additional 5 epagomenal days added at the end of the year to total 365 days. These extra days were considered unlucky and were used to honor the gods rather than conduct regular activities. The Egyptian calendar was one of the most accurate of the ancient world and was eventually adopted and modified by the Romans into the Julian calendar, which then evolved into the Gregorian calendar that we use today. The Egyptian calendar's legacy is so profound that it has influenced timekeeping for over 2 millennia, connecting us to a civilization that lived thousands of years ago. And finally, at number 1, the Book of the Dead, a name that sounds eerie but is one of the most fascinating texts from ancient Egypt. Far from being a single book, the Book of the Dead is a collection of spells, prayers, and rituals written on papyrus scrolls, designed to guide the deceased through the treacherous journey of the afterlife. Ancient Egyptians believed that the afterlife was fraught with dangers, from demons to challenging trials, including the famous weighing of the heart ceremony, where the heart was weighed against the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth and justice. Only if the heart was lighter than the feather could the soul proceed to the field of reeds, a paradise where the dead could live eternally in peace and joy. The Book of the Dead provided instructions for navigating these dangers, invoking the protection of gods like Osiris, Anubis, and Thoth. The texts were often customized for the deceased, with the most important and wealthy individuals having elaborate versions buried with them in their tombs. The Book of the Dead was so central to Egyptian beliefs about death and the afterlife that it influenced their burial practices for over 1,500 years. And its legacy continues to captivate people today. It's a powerful reminder of how deeply the Egyptians cared about ensuring safe passage to the next world, a belief that shaped their culture in countless ways. So there you have it, 10 incredible facts about ancient Egypt that showed just how advanced, innovative, and fascinating this civilization was. From peace treaties and women's rights to the creation of the calendar and the mysteries of the afterlife, the legacy of the ancient Egyptians continues to shape our world in ways we often overlook. If you enjoyed this video, why not check out our video on top 10 CIA operations, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more amazing content about the wonders of the ancient world. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next adventure.